Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to our Eagles Therapy Podcast. My name is Basil.
And I'm Baz.
And we are recording Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. Getting ready for that Eagles-Vikings third preseason game coming up in the next few days on Saturday. We excited, Dad?
Yeah, it's strange, though. It's an 11 o'clock game.
Yeah.
Well, 1 o'clock in Philly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't say we're getting too excited because it doesn't look like anybody's going to be playing, but still.
Yeah.
Always excited for football, and, hey, man, this is 1 week closer to getting to the regular season,
Yeah, it's going to be good, just to see the guys make who's going to make the roster, who's going to stand out for the third week in a row. That's what we need.
Definitely. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to talk about a little bit more than just the game, the pregame today, because we do have a little bit of an exciting thing that happened. But as always, let's give a plug to the club. We are part of the Philadelphia Eagles fan club in Colorado Springs. We're going to be watching the first few games this year at Rhino's Sports Bar and Grill on Powers and Barnes. That is a temporary bar for the beginning of the season while Frankie's is still under construction, getting fixed up. We'll let you guys know along the way any changes, any updates on that process, and when we're going to be going back over there. Thank you for your patience and support with Frankie's and everything like that. We love that bar. We love Jamie. We can't wait to be back there.
Agreed.
And Rhinos will be good for the time being.
Yes.
Let's get into the big news today, Dad. So can't really call it. It's not really a blockbuster trade because it's not like we traded for a Saquon Barkley or an A.J. Brown. Or anything,
Right.
Traded for Jahan Dotson, traded from the Washington Commanders, which is in division trade, which
it's not as rare as it used to be.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's definitely rare than regular trades and everything.
Yeah.
But it's not as rare as it used to. This is something that you feel like you wouldn't see like 10 years ago or something.
No, 15. Yeah,
the thing that this brings to mind is the Donovan McNabb trade. We traded
Right.
him to the Redskins back when they were called that.
Yes.
It's kind of funny how that was super rare at that time, which it was kind of unheard of. But at that point, we were kind of done with Donovan. But Jahan Dotson, former first-round pick, and
2 years ago,
just 2 years ago, he's 24 years old, nice young dude. He's got good hands. He had a really good rookie season last year. Still a pretty productive season, not as great as his rookie season, but still pretty productive. You wanted him to take the next step. He didn't, but he still has the ability to be, a wide receiver 2, and he's going to be going for a wide receiver 3.
So that's all we need. We need somebody that can just get open, has some speed, and just kind of not going to be many balls for him to get, but you never know. He might become that guy across the middle or something.
Absolutely.
That just changes up the whole offense and brings it up that much more.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I believe this gives the Eagles is not just the fact that he gives you a surefire, how should I say, like a good player, not a star, but a good player as a wide receiver 3. That's the struggle that's been kind of this.
We knew season. Going into this,
we have to get a new guy because we like Covey and John Ross and Paris Campbell. They're good and they could be good, but you didn't know what you were getting. The best thing about this, not only does it give you a guy who can be a great number 3, it gives you a guy who can be a good number 2 if anything were to happen to the other guys. You know what I mean, Devontae and AJ, because that's the big thing the last 2 years where it's like if you don't have Devontae and AJ,
right,
what's your offense going to be?
Yes. Kind of like when Goddard went down. Same thing. Do we really have a surefire? At least a guy that's played, has got some experience. This guy was great in college, so we all know who he played for, and I remember watching him. He was great.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's gonna be nice. We're Penn State fans, so we definitely saw him play a lot then.
And sometimes you just need a new place. You just need to get out of where you're at. If things didn't happen, they have so much turmoil there with the head coaches and the quarterback rounds going on, and all the different guys playing QB there.
Oh yeah, well he's played with Sam Howell. He played with Carson Wentz his rookie year. He played with Brissett, didn't he? Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he played with a lot of guys and a lot of inconsistency. Taylor Heineke, that's the name I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm missing.
Yeah.
Played with
guys that were good for a few weeks and then down for a few weeks. And
they were unfortunately good against us for some reason.
Always.
And Dotson, he had a great game against us last year. He caught that touchdown to go into overtime, which we eventually won, thankfully. Thank God. Great catch by him. But yeah, really exciting. So I'll give you the details of the trade. I know you know it, but so we agreed to terms on a trade with the Commanders for Dotson and a 5th-round pick in the 2025 draft in exchange for a 3rd-round pick and 2 7th-round picks in the 2025 draft. So, when you broke it down, and I said this to you before, think of it like this. We're trading a 3rd for Jahan Dotson, a former first-round pick, and then we're trading 2 7th-rounders for a 5th-rounder.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a low-risk, high-reward thing. If he's not great, if he's not good, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not like
we're not committed financially to him beyond this year, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly, but we do have him for at least 2 years because he's still in his
rookie
year. So
it could be 3.
Deal.
Because he's a first-round pick. There's a fifth-year option.
I don't know how that works when you trade him, but I'm
It's
assuming
still there. It's still there.
So that's good.
Great.
And he's still, like, say, 24 years old.
24 years old. Right.
He's from the area.
From New Jersey.
Grew up in the area. Went to Penn State. I'm sure he likes the area. So
absolutely, yeah, I think it's a great pick. Low risk, high reward. It takes the pressure off of him of being a first round pick. When he's in Washington, he's got to be on the new. I got to perform. There's a lot of pressure to that. We saw that with Jalen Reagor here and everything like that. But hopefully, I don't want to compare anyone to Jalen Reagor.
No, but what you're saying. First round picks got to deliver right away, and then you got a coaching change, a GM change, where they got down there in Washington going on. And it's just hard sometimes to get your feet going. So
absolutely,
hopefully he feels renewed. He's coming to a team that's better than the team he was on last year.
I would say
4-12, I think, or 4-13, something like that, weren't they last year?
I actually don't know their record from last year.
Yeah, they weren't very.
No, they
good.
weren't the best. They were not the best. But
they were in the basement in our division for sure. So.
Definitely, yeah.
Anyway, so he's coming to a team. He's gonna. Hopefully fit right in, and he's like again. He knows some of the players from our team already, so
yeah.
Saquon, they might have played. I don't think they overlapped.
Yeah, they did,
but he's still from the same school. Met him before.
Oh, of course.
When he came back for the alumni games or whatever. Yeah,
they were 4-13 last year. Yeah, so he's definitely going to a team that's been in the postseason 3 straight seasons.
Right.
Just acquired, Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs in the league, a guy he went to the same school as, which is great.
Right.
Really cool. Did I ever tell? I worked with a guy. I went to a different center a few weeks ago. He went to Penn State.
Nice.
And he was from Harrisburg, and he knew. I think I told you. Maybe I didn't. I told my friend he was a Cowboys fan. Unfortunately,
right.
We won't name him on here. But he knew Micah. He was good friends with Michael Parsons' younger brother.
Oh, okay.
Or no, his older brother. He's a lot old. He was a little bit older, so he didn't go to school with any of these guys.
Right.
And I think he went to the same school and division. As Shady high school.
Cool.
Yeah. So kind of cool. He grew up around that area and everything.
Right.
And Shady is from Harrisburg, and so is Micah. So, but he was really close. He knew Micah. He met him a few times and everything. But he's close with his older brother. Cool. So that's cool to see. I can't remember his name exactly because I only went for one day. But it was cool. Shout out to you if you're watching. I told him we had a podcast. But
nice.
You got some stats on Jahan Dotson. We'll talk about his college and pro stats.
Yes. So as we know, he was a first round pick. He was number 16 overall in the 2022 draft. So, just 2 years ago, removed. He's played 2 years in the NFL. He's played against us 4 times. And let's see, they're 1-3 against us in the games he's played, but he had a couple catches in a couple games 2 years ago, and he had one big game last October against us. He had 8 catches for 108 yards and a touchdown. So, and that's the touchdown that you saw him catch that.
Yeah.
Took the game into OT. So, there you go.
I got him
but at Penn State, he had 183 catches for 2,757 yards and 25 TDs. So he was a big college player for Penn State. And, they're not the most prolific passing team either, but he was one of the really good ones. And I remember when he came out, we needed a wide receiver at the time. We ended up getting AJ in that draft.
Trade. So that's great.
So up to that point, he was somebody that we had looked at, hope maybe he'd fall at something. But the good thing about
him for a third-round pick.
Get him for
basically.
He increased his catching, his targets and catches, and his receiving yards every year through college, which I always like. We always look for. He got better every year, and in his senior year, he had 91 catches for 1,182 yards and 12 touchdowns. So by the time he was a senior, he was like their number one guy. He had like a huge game, and then he's 5'11", 182 pounds, ran a 4.43 40-yard dash, and in his first NFL game in the 2022 season, he had 3 catches, 40 yards, 2 touchdowns, and was the Pepsi NFL Rookie of the Week, his first week in the NFL. So, he didn't really duplicate it much after that, but he still had some pretty big numbers there in college. And, hopefully in the pros, he hasn't been huge yet, but he's got some pretty good numbers. So
1,000 yards total in his career, 518 last year, 4 touchdowns. Again, we have to remember, he was playing with a pretty inconsistent quarterback scheme in his time there and everything.
Right.
And you saw it against us. He only had in one of the games against us. He had a catch for 14 yards. He just not.
Well, his first game against 2 for 8. Two catches for 8 yards, and then 1 catch for 14 yards.
Yeah. So his first 2 games against us,
and then 4 for 9 in his. No, 4 catches for 27 yards in his third game against. So he really wasn't a big part of their team, I guess.
But
And again, their quarterback play, they had some couple, 3-4 weeks where Heineke was good and then Howe was good. And, so, they just never really got it going. They were always probably playing from behind. And, it's just hard to build that up.
Definitely.
Get the confidence.
Another good trade by Howie. I'm proud of it. It's great.
I think so.
Again, it's, if it works out, awesome. It's great. It'd be great for the team. And if it doesn't, it's unfortunate, but it's not it doesn't kill the team.
Definitely going to work out because he's not going to have any pressure on him. He's going to get out there and just play ball.
It's great.
Use his speed, work him into the game.
Oh, yeah.
Work him onto the team. He's only got a few weeks for practice. But, right now.
Think about it, he's the fifth option.
For sure. Maybe sixth. Because you take Shipley and Barkley. You know what I mean? Use those two.
Well, you're leaving Gainwell off. Shipley, I don't.
You know what I mean?
Shipley's going to touch the field once a game. I think. I wouldn't say that.
They use him. But.
No, I wish. I would wish too.
You've got two backs that can catch it out of the backfield, one tight end, two wide receivers. So he's fourth, fifth, sixth. Option. That's great. Let's go ahead and jump into the game coming up now. So the Eagles are going to be playing the Vikings Saturday, like you mentioned, at 11 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock back in Philly. It's just weird preseason, but I guess the earlier you play better.
They're just going to get it all over.
Yeah, that's right.
Dad, you got some weather report?
Yeah, it's going to be 86 degrees and somewhat humid, not real bad. No chance of rain, like 5%, which means it might pour. But so far, the outlook looks like it's going to be pretty good. And you usually don't get the thunderstorms till mid or late afternoon back in Philly, so it could be 3-4 o'clock. But it looks like it's going to be just hot and humid.
Yeah, not expecting to really see any starters. It's going to be a lot of guys trying to make the roster, fringe guys and everything like that. Maybe see some players on defense. I think Nakobe Dean will definitely be in there. I wonder if they'll. I don't think they'll play Devin White. I wouldn't be surprised if they played Zach Bond and started those two, Bond and Nakobe, to kind of see who can win that kind of competition for that other spot. It seems like it's Bond, but Nakobe's going to have a role for sure. We'll see probably a lot of Trotter and Van Sumeren, Oren Burks. Oh, yeah, no, I think so too. And then
it's going to be interesting to look for certain players and certain things like, is the D-line going to play? Are the two big guys going to play?
No.
The defensive ends, are they going to play Hunt? Is Hunt going to be out there? It's just it's going to be strange to watch, but
so players I think would play on the defense side. I think Hunt would play. Patrick Johnson's going to be playing for sure, trying to make the team. Ojimo probably would play. The guys, Carter Davis and Milton will not. They won't touch the field. You might see Tui Pelotu might be playing. Maybe not. You might start the game and pull them out after.
You're going to kind of know early who. Okay, they already made the team.
Yeah,
we're in street clothes, whatever.
The cornerbacks, we're going to see a lot of, I think, Eli Ricks, Josh Jobe, Zach McPherson, because they're fighting for a spot, as a corner.
Fourth or fifth or sixth guy on the.
We're talking like fifth, sixth. Because if you go from the top, it seems like it's, Slay. You got five guys that are a lock.
Right.
You say right now. Quinyon Mitchell.
Right.
Sorry, Slay is number one.
Right.
Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. Then you got Rodgers, Isaiah Rodgers, Healy Ringo. That's five locked. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then you go into, Eli Ricks, I think, was going to make the team.
Hopefully, yes.
Now we're talking about Avonte Maddox. He's a safety, though.
Yes.
You don't. What is he? So unless they're coming in with 10 cornerbacks, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's going to be a different to watch. But then what are the Vikings going to be doing too? It's weird. We haven't played them in preseason, I don't think, for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think we played them in the last two seasons, didn't we?
Yes.
Regular seasons.
Yes. If not,
which was surprising.
Yeah.
But, it's so I don't know who we'll see. I think we'll see some combinations of guys who are – we don't know if they're going to start or not, or, they're on the practice squad, stuff like that. We'll see what goes on.
Right.
No, I don't think anybody's starting on offense, not a single one. Touch the field. There'll be a lot of Shipley. I don't even think Gainwell will play because he's solidified too. Shipley is too, but I think you'll see Shipley getting the start, and then, Milton and Davis Price and Nichols, they'll be getting a lot of the offensive line. You'll see – I don't even know if we'll see Keegan, because he's on the team for sure.
Right.
It's funny. You never know. Maybe get him to start and take him out. You never know.
Right. But, it's just that preseason's just changed so much.
Yeah. I have /3 players I'm looking forward to in the game. Number one, I'll go with offense first. I have Ainias Smith. I think this is kind of his last hurrah with chance. With getting Dotson, you're like, that's kind of his. Because Ainias Smith, he's a small guy, fast guy, going to be in the slot. That's Dotson's kind of thing.
Right.
Quick in the slot, move around. I think this is kind of his last Hail Mary to make the team. we don't know, again, of course, who's making the team as far as, John Ross, Paris Campbell. It seems like neither of them are going to
in my opinion, it should be the younger of the guys that are out there now.
Yeah.
Because why would you have a 27, 28, 9-year-old wide receiver guy that's making, So, yeah, I would like to see him go with the youth.
And
did draft.
And not playing, they
haven't played for
Well, they don't play special teams. That's the other big thing. But you have to look at the fact, and you got your 4 wide receivers who are locks: AJ, Devontae, now Dotson and Covey. Right. And now you're running into, how many are they going to bring?
5,
Joseph
6,
Agata, Johnny Wilson.
I think Wilson's probably going to be. I don't want to say
probably got hurt.
Sure,
probably had a concussion. John Ross, Paris Campbell, Anais Smith. I think this is Anais Smith's last big chance to make the team, so I think he'll be playing a lot.
It's funny how Ross. We talked about Ross that first week, and he had 4 receptions in the first 10 passes, and then he just really nothing since then. He's kind of a shame. Nagata did so well last week.
And you want to see him on the team, but you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
On the defensive side, I have a Ben Van Sumeren / Oren Burks. So I chose 2 guys. These are the 2 guys I think they're at the bottom of the linebacker spot. I think we're going to be bringing 5. We're going to have to do another roster. Yeah. Last final roster prediction, maybe Sunday or Monday or something.
Yeah, well, you'll know. It's Tuesday's cut down day.
I want to we'll have to get the episode out Monday to do our final rosters. But I'm looking forward to those 2 guys because I think they're going to be playing for their spot. They're going to be playing a lot of linebacker, in the game, and they're going to be playing a lot of special teams, both of them, because they're both good at special teams. They're both good as backup linebackers.
Right.
Who's better? That's kind of the, I don't think we're bringing 6 linebackers because where are you going to bring the other guy, So
it really depends how they go. If they're going to go 10, 11 offensive line or defensive line, it's just too many questions right now.
Very true. So we'll see what goes on there. Big roster depth chart notes from practice stuff we're going to talk about. Obviously, the Dotson thing we already touched on. The other big one, we didn't get to record to talk about it, but CJ Uzomah.
They got cut. Yeah, he got cut, which kind of probably gives you the EJ Jenkins, right? He's probably going to. You were saying about him earlier. He just seems to be. He's younger, first of all.
Yes.
And he's got more of an upside. Hopefully, he's a better blocker. I mean, I know he can block.
Yeah.
We really need him to step into that role.
He's 25 years old. I love that. He's 25 years old. He's 6'7". He's 240 pounds. He was a wide receiver in college. Now he's a tight end, so he definitely has some speed to him if he was a wide receiver at one point. Runs a 4.62, so not the fastest guy, but that's that's still pretty darn good. And hopefully, you get a guy, with our running game coordinator with Stout, he'll teach him to block. If he can use his hands, he'll become a blocker. You know what I mean? So it's exciting because I really wanted EJ Jenkins to make the team. Right. I thought Uzomah had it on him, just based off.
It's a weird thing, the trade last year and just never played, and he's just so weird.
Oh, you mean Alberto?
Alberto, I'm sorry.
He's not making the team.
No, but
he's still on. He's on the team, but he ain't.
To me, it's just so strange.
They extended him. It was very confusing.
I know. But they never used him. If they'd used him, it'd be different. But they didn't even put him in a game.
He was constantly sitting. Yeah. It was just weird. If they keep 4 tight ends again like they did last year, I don't know what to say. That's what they did last year.
I can't imagine
that. That was unbelievable. I can't believe you would do that.
They'll stick somebody on the practice squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's going to be. Yeah.
You got anything else?
No,
I know it's a quick podcast, but we really wanted to touch on the game, and because I'm going away tomorrow, and then we really wanted to talk about the trade.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything else. If you're good,
no.
I'll move on just to talk about the Phillies real quick. They lost the series of the Braves, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer because they just lost another one of their starters to an injury.
Right.
So you think we should kind of easily handle the Braves, but
3-2.
Just a bad look.
Can't the runs. The bats went quiet.
It's a bad look. The Union. They lost in the League Cup. They lost in the semifinals League Cup, so they've been playing for 3rd place. They've been playing against the Rapids.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's a bummer because I was kind of hoping when I saw who they may play. I was looking at who's on the other side of it.
Right.
And I saw the Rapids, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
Would the game be here? And then you texted me.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, man.
Because they were ranked. Philly was the team they lost to Columbus was 6th. They were 9th, and then you went from there. So LAFC, I think they're playing for the Cup against Columbus, but
I thought it'd be really cool. I'm like, oh, what if the game's in Colorado? We
could
go. Right. That'd be awesome.
It's Sunday, but
yeah, I know. I'd be up to Denver already if you want to meet me up there. But, so they lost in the League Cup. So they'll be playing for 3rd, and then I got nothing on the Flyers. The Sixers, we're all good on that side. So
season.
All right. Well, this is where I can go ahead and tell you if you had any questions, you can email us at oureaglestherapy@gmail.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and comment down below what you think of the trade, who you're looking forward to for the Eagles preseason finale. But you can follow us on Facebook. If you like us, you can rate and subscribe wherever you're listening to your podcast. You can subscribe and like on YouTube. Drop us some comments down below. But other than that, from all of us here at Our Eagles Therapy Podcast, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.